Well guys, no blog quite yet, unless you want to talk about Fumbus, and throw that in the comments if you'd like to. We can nerd all about him. But it's been, as of this recording, just under 1 year since we started talking about the Pathfinder playtest together. I remember that very specifically, as that day actually happens to coincide with my birthday. Again, 27 could not have been a better year for me, for us, for the community, for that RPG we love. I'm sure spoilers are coming right around the corner. Until then, you know, it was announced that the Paizo guys are gonna run an adventure on their Twitch, which of course will be chock full of spoilers for me to mine and bring to you, but that got me to thinking. And I know I talked about this with some of the patrons. Honestly, I think like 5 or 6 of you. I personally love Paizo's adventure paths. I think they are written very well. I think a certain dwarf wizard in a certain cave in a certain Wrath of the Righteous book could maybe have had better spells and a higher intelligence, but that's my own gripes. There have been some things left to be explored in Pathfinder 1st Edition in terms of our lore, which we see in our adventure paths. We're here today to talk about 3 things that I'm hoping we'll see more of in Pathfinder 2nd Edition's adventure paths. Remember, hey, if you guys are liking what you're seeing, if you're as raring to go as I am for those Pathfinder 2nd Edition spoiler blogs, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, be sure to sucker punch the bell for all your Pathfinder 1st and 2nd Edition content today. This episode of your Pathfinder 2nd Edition preview content, man, I said those 2 things really close together, didn't I? Oh well, was brought to you in part by Dragon Ninehide. Thanks for your help, Adam. You the man. Now, let's hit it. Actually, let's not hit it. Really quickly, as you guys probably know, we're going to be running Final Fantasy D20 here on the channel pretty soon. As of this video's release, the winners have been chosen, they have been messaged. Thank you guys so much for entering. I am stoked. With the formation of the Tiki tier, Tier 9, a tier that allows you to come play with us and also bring a friend, we're looking at a 7-man party that includes people who have upped their patron tiers to join us. I could not be more blessed. Seriously, thank you guys. Now, anyway, here we go. First thing that comes to mind for me when I think adventure paths in 2nd Edition is the adventure path I'm running extra innings in at level 20 right now here on the channel. I would like to see more of the Dominion of the Black, the Night Heralds, the repercussions, if you will, of the events of Doomsday Dawn. Assuming your party didn't fail and the world is gone bye-bye now. Paizo is really good about not vomiting all the details of all the everything out in terms of their factions, their lore, etc., etc. Paizo is also very good at giving us little chunks of lore relating to specific deities, specific factions, as they become relevant in adventure paths. For example, say the Cult of Baphomet in Wrath of the Righteous, the Esoteric Order in Carrion Crown, so on and so forth. And I think we've had this mystery faction for long enough. We see them in Iron Gods for a little while. Certainly they appear in Starfinder, but I would love to see the Dominion appear again on Galarian sometime early-ish. Maybe not right off the bat, because we just did that thing in Pathfinder 2nd Edition's career. As you guys know, I fangirled pretty hard when I learned that would be the playtest adventure. You know, an event that's been ticking down in Osirian pyramids for years and years and years and years. And now that I'm pretty much done with that, I want more. And, you know, giving us more also will allow Paizo in 2nd Edition to flesh out technology rules. Railguns and chainsaw swords and robots, oh my. Seems like a win-win to me. Maybe even borrow from Starfinder a little in terms of, like, space combat, piloting ships, fighter pilots, things of that nature. That reminds me how badly I would like to start a Starfinder game where every single solitary character has a ship. I mean, like a space F-16. Gigantic boards, lots of lasers. What could possibly go wrong, right? Anyway, speaking of things that could possibly go wrong, in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and this is one that I think should be addressed earlier rather than later, I would like to see rules for a Mythic game come up both quickly and in such a way as to be balanced. Now, we're playing Wrath of the Righteous here on the channel, as I'm sure you guys know, and at the tail end of A Tale of Three Dragons, our Pathfinder patron Gestalt game set in the Dragon Empires, the boys did get mythic. And it doesn't take long, flipping through the mythic feats and stuff like that, to see why a lot of people think that mythic is, in fact, mega overpowered. Because it, in fact, is really good. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I don't necessarily think it needs to be nerfed. Because really, nerf is not the term when it's a whole new game. I think it would be really cool if mythic characters, mythic feats, etc. can slot in maybe as a different category of feat that could be an ancestry, class, heritage, etc., whatever we get stuck with. Feat line maybe costing like 2 for 1 that allows the mythic character to stand next to the non-mythic character and still be balanced, still be fair. Honestly, I think I like that 2 for 1 idea. Would I use it in Legacy Pathfinder? Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to playtest it. But in 2nd edition, the notion of 2 fighter feats, say like your 1st and 2nd level fighter feats, in place of sudden charge, take mythic sudden charge, which does something real cool, I'm sure. But in return for taking a mythic feat, you do not gain access to your next class feat. Same with your next general feat if you took mythic alertness, so on and so forth, right? You guys are smart. You get the idea. Seems mostly fair to me. And lastly, as you guys know, Golarion is... Here, hold on. Actually, you might not know. Here's a map. The lion's share of the adventure paths have taken place in the Inner Sea region. That is not a bad thing. But I would love it even more if we could explore some of these other continents out there with an adventure path. And I don't mean like Jade Region, where you start in a place in the Inner Sea region that I will not spoil, and then make your way over there. No, I mean like start in Iblados, one of the 3 Avestani colonies on Arcadia, deep in the Padishah Empire of Kalesh, so on and so forth. If handled correctly, and I especially feel this way about the Arcadian adventure, this can be done without being like, oh, that's the Arcadian game, or that's the Japanese game, to like sell up that Jade Regent even farther. It opens up a very wide avenue of new monsters from new mythologies that we can pull out, you know, like suddenly here's a Wendigo. And it's not weird. Well, it's probably weird. Run for your life. But like they're from, maybe not where the Arcadian colonies are, but that continent in theory. Different animals, different class feats reflecting different fighting styles in the region, different gods. And yeah, no, it wouldn't look the worst if maybe there was like an Arcadian world guide or similar for Kazmaron, Vudra, etc., etc. As we move forward, again, I do understand that Paizo does intentionally veil a lot of their stuff, and I believe they do that so you, the GM, can fill in the blanks, but the official content would look super good. And there's nothing saying that if you don't like that official content, if you liked yours better, use yours still. That's totally fine. If nothing else, there's probably at least a monster or magic item you can glean from a book like that to apply to your world. For example, I have definitely been in a party that has been to the city of Sagada, which is in Arcadia. Did it look anything like it does in Distant Shores? No. No, it did not. It looked just a lot different in a lot of different ways. Because there were Cardassians there, but that's because we like sci-fi. And also is neither here nor there. The point I'm driving at is official content looks good, APs in different part of the worlds look good, a balanced mythic system looks good, and spooky sci-fi boys running around as we chop them up with swords. They look bad, but I mean, like, let's chop them up anyway. Fun! And I guess real quick before we go, do you want to see Fumbus all colored in? That is a spoiler I have for you. Oh, bam! Behold, in all of his glory. Anyway, that's all I have for today. What are we expecting from our Paizo adventure paths? What do you guys want to see? What was your favorite adventure path in Legacy Pathfinder, and should it have some kind of Return of the Rune Lords Friday-esque Part 2 as we move into 2nd edition. Throw it down in the comments. Let me know all about it. And thank you guys, as always, so much for your time. Do you want to see what this game looks like at level 20? Because we're playing at level 20 Fridays, 7 to 10 Central on Twitch. The Twitch is in the description. Also, my party just tripped an alarm, and now there's turrets and robots with guns, and they're in space, and also ancient Egyptians. I've said too much. I'll see you guys on Friday.